first with the comments, it is unfortunate that Caitlin Clark has been at the center of all of this discussion and been used to denigrate the players, and she has to be the one to speak up about this.
Honestly, it's been a lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. We had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable.
Again, it's heartbreaking that in a time where our league is so exciting, the excitement around the league is at its highest, but the racial slurs and the derogatory comments and the online bullying are also at their worst.
WNBA, are y'all trying to have no viewers? What are y'all doing? Why does everything have to implode when y'all probably would have the best year ever in the WNBA? But you want to be mad at the white girl. Can y'all stop? This video is brought to you by My Patriot Supplies, brought to you by My Patriot Supplies. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to give you a lecture on how precious life is and that it can be taken away in an instant. And that's why I keep 4 weeks of emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply in my home, and I keep some here at the warehouse. Let me give you a trick. I don't just have one. I have a few of these, so I have plenty to go around. But with everything going on, we all know how they can do the pandemic and all kind of old crazy stuff, and I don't want you guys to be unprepared. I want you to be prepared. With over 2,000 calories per day, there's enough to go around during times of social unrest, government crackdowns, and God forbid if we have an attack on the homeland. Food lasts up to 25 years. Ready whenever devastation strikes, so you can keep this stuff stored at your house and ready whenever you actually need it. Even in a mass pandemic, and we've seen plenty of them in our lifetime, or at least we've seen one major one in our lifetime. Some of you guys have seen at least two. So it's no shortage of necessity to have something like this in your house. So right now, you can get $50 off the same 4-week emergency food kit that I have right here, that I'm showing you right here. Go to preparewithtatum.com and save $50 off on your 4-week emergency kit, and My Patriot Supply will send it over as fast as humanly possible. Just for an example, I want to show you guys real quick. This is like long grain rice. Here's like an energy drink. So you got a whole bunch of different things in this container that you can then pull out and use. What I will refer you to do is that when you get your container, check it first and have a plan to process how many kids you got, who's going to take what do you need per day. I would ration that and have it prepped before you store it. So I opened mine, I looked at everything, and now I'm going to put it back in with the stuff where I know it's at when I store this, okay? So don't forget, 4-week emergency supply kit, preparewithtatum.com, preparewithtatum.com. Get yours today. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, does the WNBA want to just completely not have a league? I'm convinced the trauma that black people went through has it's like a person going through trauma and never going to counseling, never dealing with the trauma. All they do is project trauma on everybody else, and then they end up having a traumatic life because they never dealt with their own trauma. For some reason, black people in America have an issue with dealing with past trauma that they didn't even experience. But it's passed down, and they embody the trauma, and they project the trauma. I don't understand why these women are complaining about people trolling on the internet. And they're spitting in the face of all the fans who kiss the very ground they walk on. And some people who begrudgingly watch the WNBA because they just want to see y'all do better. Why? Why would you care about somebody saying something to you on the internet that don't know you, and you got hundreds of thousands and millions of people watching y'all on TV that's bringing money to put in your pocket? And the same people that's saying, racism, why do we have to still deal with racism in America? It just hurts sometimes. And they playing a game of basketball full of white people in the stadium. Ain't nothing but white people watching y'all. Your salary, the owners of the teams, 99% of this is white people supporting the black lesbians on playing basketball. And then you get one white girl in there that just happened to be the GOAT. Can y'all stop wearing my color and just look at the girl's skill set? Let me say this. I'm going to play the video. I swear. I need the big screen. I'm in the cigar lounge in Memphis, the last playoff game that the Fever played. I just so happened to see the basketball on TV. It's women's basketball. I would never watch women's basketball because I don't think it's entertaining at all. I happen to look and I say, oh, that's the team Caitlin Clark played for. Let me watch it. I want to see her play. I like her. I think she's a great athlete. I think she has a lot of accolades. She's a great personality. But I hadn't watched none of the games, right? Because that's not my thing. I don't like basketball anyway. So I said, let me watch Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark was clearly the best girl on the court. Clearly. I'm just objectively watching. She hit the girl, stole the ball, took it, juke, went left, right, crossed up, went through the middle. I said, that she just got it. I looked at the TV and went like, ooh. That's how good Caitlin Clark is. She ended up losing. And of course you got people trolling and doing all this other stuff. Let me play this news clip before I get out of hand. Just so you know, Caitlin Clark was the highlight of that game, and I probably watched it for 10 minutes. Women's basketball is so bad. I don't know how anybody watches it. And these women should be happy that people want to help you. Because they're not watching it because it's great basketball. I'm telling you they're not. I was watching Caitlin Clark. It's a playoff game. These are the best teams. They missing easy jump shots, missing layups, shooting air balls and stuff. I didn't see an air ball that night, but I've seen them shoot air balls before. But that night I seen them field goal shots. They missing them, bouncing off the rim. They can't rebound. The game is slow. Ain't nobody dunking. I would never intentionally want to invest too much time into watching women's basketball. When you can watch in the NBA and they just throwing the ball down the court, Curry from half court. They ain't missing in the paint unless somebody slapping them in the face or something. Let me play this thing.
After the game, Sun forward Alyssa Thomas was asked about the professionalism the Sun showed in this series, and this was her response.
Honestly, it's been a lot of nonsense.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna show y'all this real quick. Ain't no white girls ain't talking about this. Why is it just black women? Why are the black women the only ones that have a problem? Okay.
I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. We had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it, and we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it. And basketball is headed in a great direction. Because of Caitlin Clark, okay? Because of Caitlin Clark primarily. Come on, man. You in your 11 years, you haven't experienced. It's heading in the right direction. Y'all have never seen stuff like this before Caitlin Clark. Okay. But nah, we don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us racial names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect. And we come to play basketball for our job and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it anymore.
Now, in response to those,
what fans are they talking about? The ones at the game ain't saying nothing to you. Oh, some trolls on the internet. You don't even know if they're really fans of the Fever or they just trolling y'all. And you a grown woman, played in a league for 11 years, and somebody commented something on the internet, nobody prominent, nobody serious, nobody with a blue check mark, nobody with a verified account, nobody that means nothing to nobody. I would put my life on it that none of these people have a real account and a real profile picture. And I guarantee you she can't specifically say what comment. It's like rumors of comments that are out there about us. Just because somebody being evil and trolling y'all don't mean it had nothing to do with Caitlin Clark or the Fever. But But anyway.
Comments, the WNBA issued a statement saying the WNBA is a competitive league with some of the most elite athletes in the world. While we welcome a growing fan base, the WNBA will not tolerate racist, derogatory, or threatening comments made about players, teams, and anyone affiliated with the league. League security is actively monitoring threat-related activity and will work directly with teams and arenas to take appropriate measures to include involving law enforcement as necessary. Ray, what's your reaction to that news?
Well, my first reaction immediately is it's sad. It's sad that on an evening when we've had great performances from the teams that won, from the teams that lost, we've had great individual performances. We've got two teams advancing to the semifinals. And this is the topic that we have to end on. And what's
You don't have to end on it. Y'all making this a topic. And it's only black players that got a problem with this. I don't know why black people live like, how do you live like this? I was so sick of the victim stuff. Racism, racism, racism. The people watching you at the game are white. The people that are putting money in your pocket are white. The coaches are white. Most of them, I would argue. How are you getting offended by some random rando on a bot account on social media? We have to end on this. No, just stop talking about it. You don't need to waste airtime talking about some social media comments. But y'all want this to be more than what it is. Do men do this? Does the NBA, I'm sure people are trolling out of these NBA players. They not sitting there crying about this stuff.
Stood out to me about what Alyssa Thomas said was basketball is heading in a great direction, and then there's a pause. Because, again, it's heartbreaking that in a time where our league is so exciting, the excitement around the league is at its highest, but the racial slurs and the derogatory comments and the online bullying are also at their worst. And that's the two things that we don't want. We want all the excitement, but it should be based on basketball only. This is a league.
Hello. Let me put some facts out there real quick. What she's saying is that we want to be as popular as the NBA, but we don't want what comes with that. What comes with more eyeballs is more people and more haters and more. Y'all want a Cinderella story. You don't get 7 million more people watching your stuff without the riffraff. That's a part of the game, sis. You want more popularity? You want more people? You want a bigger stage? You're going to have crazier people watching your sport. You're going to have more people talking trash, more haters saying stuff, more people antagonizing. That's with more success, more fame, more visibility, you're going to have more stuff. That's like me being like, man, that's messed up, bro. I just want to make videos about politics. I can't believe people calling me a Uncle Coon and a sellout and a Uncle Ruckus. I can't believe it, man. I'm tired of this. When I had 400,000 subscribers versus 3 million, it's a lot more haters. And I spend a lot less time looking at it because I don't give up. With millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of people liking, sharing, commenting on my stuff, I don't even have time to look at the haters. But y'all not ready for the big league.
That has thrived off of women that have competitive spirit and that want to play the game and that love playing the game. But it's also a league that's thrived off of women that truly take pride in inclusivity and diversity and welcoming others and protecting marginalized groups. And so there's no room for racism. There's no room for bullying. There's no room for derogatory comments. We love this sport. These players love to play this sport, and everything should be based about the game. Everything.
Until the white girl come up. Y'all cool when the black girls are good and dominating. If you want to be inclusive, this is your chance to be inclusive. You got a non-black lesbian comes to the league and she dominates. And then you get a couple other girls that come with them that have a sex appeal. Can we stop? Hold on. Can we stop being lame for a minute? The reason why the WNBA is getting a little more traction, the reason why some of these girls are more popular than previous women, because men are watching the game. And men like feminine women to be out there killing. They don't want to watch a dude dressed like another dude play a dude sport. Men don't want, that's not attractive. No, Nike can't sell you. And it ain't sexism. It's because most people don't want to see that. That ain't cool. That ain't nobody really like that. And you know what? Half of the population in America are women. If women really stuck together and if they want to watch y'all sorry basketball games, y'all would have the biggest league. Because if women would go to y'all games and buy y'all tickets, y'all would have more views than the NBA. But the problem is y'all ain't that good. I'm so sick of hearing them whine. It make you not even want to, you're like, man, forget them, man. You give somebody something and then they crying. You say, all right, maybe the WNBA doing it. They got a Caitlin Clark. They going to do this, do that. Maybe some more athletes going to come up. Maybe I'm going to start watching this stuff. And then they nag every other weekend about something. If they not nagging about Caitlin Clark, they nagging about the fact that Caitlin Clark is the MVP. They nagging about the fact, they surround their negativity all based around Caitlin Clark. Literally the freaking golden calf. I won't say golden calf because that's a negative thing. She's literally a gold mine. If they would embrace Caitlin Clark and maximize the exposure, they would do better as a league. But these fake inclusive, we include non-LGBTQ. No, when you get a white girl that's balling harder than them sisters, y'all want to cry every time something happened with her. She got poked in the eye. And none of these people said anything. That's a dirty dog play. If she put the girl eyeball out and she can't play basketball anymore, that would be horrific for any player. The girl went like this and came down with she went. I'm going to play one more clip and I'm going to get out of here.
Should be based about the game of basketball because that's what these women love and that's what all of these women are here for. So the fans that are giving those racial.
I can't listen to her no more. I think we got one more clip. What's the other clip? And I'm gonna show you this idiot real quick because this kind of proves my point of like the young beautiful black woman that was just speaking, beating around the bush and all this. This is what they really feel like. I don't know. I can't attest for her, but generally speaking, these NBA critics claiming they getting racial slurs and all this. This is what they really feel like. In my opinion, roll the clip.
First with the comment, it is unfortunate that Caitlin Clark has been at the center of all of this discussion and been used to denigrate the players, and she has to be the one to speak up about this. But with that said, I do believe that any person in privilege has a moral obligation to speak up against racism and homophobia and transphobia and all those things. Like I, as a man in that place of privilege, have to speak out against these things that impact women. What I hope is that Caitlin Clark can use this moment to speak out more, and I know that this is probably challenging her in the way.
All right, one more clip, one more thing I want to show y'all, and I'm out of here. Angel Reese. I don't know Angel Reese. I don't know her mom and them or nothing. I'm gonna give my honest, God-honest opinion. I wish that Angel Reese had been raised just a little differently, or she took advice from good parents who raised her for her to listen to good advice. Angel Reese is the villain because of her actions, not because people want to villainize her or vilify her. It's simply because she literally, the way she play, the way she act, how ghetto she act, and other things that she do makes her the one that's the villain. Makes her the one that's aggressive, that'll get in your face and do all this. And look, man, nobody think that's a bad thing. You are only winning because you have been matched up in the hero-villain scenario. If Angel Reese wasn't either one of those, we wouldn't even be talking about her. There's dudes in the NBA right now that are deemed a villain because of their actions. If Angel Reese was a squared away. When I say squared away, meaning in the press conferences, she speak articulately, proper English. She's just squared away, right? And in the off season, or not off season, but off court, in the locker room, if Angel Reese is a little more, I would say, less ghetto, she wouldn't be perceived as like the villain side. She's like the rebel, and she loves it, and she eats it up, and that's her character. She's in your face, running up the court, swag, got one leg sleeve up, one leg sleeve down. She in your face like this. It ain't nothing wrong with that. But when you act like that, you are the villain, and people love the villain. That's why people love Angel Reese. They like it when she talk trash. They like it when she blinging, wearing the dresses and doing photo shoots and showing her booty and all that stuff. People like that about Angel Reese. I don't know why that turns into victimhood. I don't know why. She should embrace who she is. In the story, she's the villain. Not real villain, sports villain. So when Angel Reese show up on the court, she the baddest. She aggressive. She's flashy. She's in your face. People like her make tons of money. You look at the boxers. When they the good guys, pay-per-view, they're the good guys. They don't get as much traction as the one that, like Floyd Mayweather and them, just talk so much trash. Conor McGregor talks so much trash. And he backs it up and he makes more money than the good guy. Angel Reese could potentially, if somebody would sit her down and say, Angel, like you got to put this in perspective, she would make more money and be more popular than Caitlin Clark, popularity-wise. I can't talk about a game, right? Caitlin Clark's game is a little better. Maybe because they're in different positions. I don't know how you call it, depending on if you think the big man is more important than the point guard. I don't know. But she could be more popular. But instead, what she's doing is feeling like a victim in a situation where she's actually the victor. When she writes stuff like this, if I was tutoring, if I was counseling her, I say, Angel, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. You a boss. You're not nobody victim. You ain't looking at internet trolls calling you racial slurs. That ain't a thing. You a boss. Do you think Floyd Mayweather will write a post like this? And he is the biggest villain. Everybody wanted him to go down. Do you think that a Tom Brady or somebody will write a post like this? And I'm sure people give Tom Brady death threats. They probably talk about, somebody probably tried to kill Tom Brady at some point. You think he talking like this? No, this is a black thing. Unfortunately, that we feel victimized every turn. I've been villainized to create a narrative. No, you haven't. You created a persona and people love it. That's why they show up at your games. That's why you got drafted where you got drafted. That's why the rivalry between Caitlin Clark and you was so big. Because you talk trash. Nobody would dare do this to her, but she did it. And she deserved to. She won. You think people ain't gonna think you the villain and you doing that? I'm sorry that our players have to go through racial stuff. We got to be stronger than this. Black people, y'all got to stop being weak. This is weak stuff. Man, they said this about me on the internet. They ain't a white man. You a boss. Why you care what some trolls say that don't make half the money you make? This woman make more money than everybody that says something negatively about her on the internet. I want to put my life on it. And she like 20-something. Girl, you leverage your fame and your endorsements, you're going to be making hundreds of millions of dollars by the time they age. People on the internet hating on you that ain't never picked a basketball up before. Caitlin Clark got poked in the eye, and she said, it ain't no big deal. That girl ran up to Caitlin Clark and went, just knocked on the ground. No provocation. Caitlin Clark gets on the interview and go, no, it's okay, it's the name of the game. She should have been I'm selected for the Olympic team, at least as an alternate. She said, nah, it's good. It just made me want to fight better. Caitlin Clark could be playing the victim. But the difference between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is that Angel Reese have to stop playing the victim and play the game. Caitlin Clark could easily come out because everybody want her to be the victim. Caitlin Clark could come out and say, all the women in the league hating on me, which I would argue that many of them are hating on her. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. I mean, look at them. They hit me. She should get, that's assault. That girl just hit me. She could have said, she deliberately poked me in the eye and there needs to be an investigation. She put her hand up like this and went like this. Boop. She tried to kill me. Caitlin Clark can say anything. I guarantee you black people are hating on Caitlin Clark and sending stuff in her DM like never before. Because I see the message they send to me from saying I like Caitlin Clark. People be talking crazy to me. Talking about hate my race and all that. But Caitlin Clark is a professional. Whoever's mentoring Caitlin Clark is telling her, don't entertain that. Even though you know that girl poked you in your eye, play the game. Make the girls' basketball game look good. Let them look bad if they're doing negative to you. You always take the high ground. You always be the bigger person. You are the GOAT. I wish that Angel Reese would either hear or take that information in and say, and be the one to say, man, we ain't worried about nobody texting and tweeting. We out here to play basketball. That's what we doing. The league is doing good. And I'm not worried about somebody without a profile picture that ain't never touched the basketball in a day in their life talking about me on the internet. The internet is the internet. I'm a big girl. Oh, my God. People would just be like, oh, Angel Reese, I love you. Please, you're the GOAT. But instead, we write stuff like this. And I get it. I felt like her when I was her age. So I'm not missing the point. I thought the same way when I was her age. And I got older and I say, man, this is... see y'all on the next one, man. I'm out.